on. It just felt weird. It felt weird. So I haven't played a Pokemon since I think Emerald. So I'm a minute behind. I played Pokemon like Fire Red, and then I played the next one. Wasn't Yellow. It was like Silver, I think. And then I played Ruby, and then Ruby Emerald. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? I just played the same game 3 times in a row. I think I'm good. And I just kind of put it down.
That's why they made these games.
It's the same formula, and I think that's the most criticism I get. I totally understand. It's like if you like Pokemon, then you're gonna like Pokemon. The next one. If you're like tired of Pokemon, well, it's more of the same.
Guess what? It's Pokemon.
I like these games though because they don't. The old games felt to me like they were there was a huge barrier to entry because I was like, I don't know any of the Pokemon, and they were like, when I'd watch my friends play, I was like, I have no idea what's going on. This to me introduces me into the world pretty nicely.
This one had a much better learning curve, I think, than previous ones. They definitely made a lot of quality of life improvements.
Same with Let's Go. Do you play Let's Go, Lawrence?
No, because I was told that was the casual Pokemon. I don't need that in my life.
No, it is.
It is the casual Pokemon. This is like one step less casual, I think, than Let's Go.
What's the most elite gamer Pokemon out there?
A randomized Nuzlocke.
You know what Nuzlocke is?
A hacked ROM that only makes
Is that a Dwarf Fortress plugin or something?
Oh my god. You don't know what Nuzlockes are?
Yeah, experiment.
Ooh. All right, I'm about to change your whole goddamn life, Lawrence.
I want to play on Nuzlocke, but I'm too much of a noob.
Okay.
I am not. I don't have a mouse plugged into my computer, Criken. I don't use graphical interfaces. It's only keyboard shortcuts for me. I had to code my own clock. All right. So, all right. What's a Nuzlocke?
All right. I love that description. All right. Basically, a Nuzlocke is a unique kind of set of rules that someone can set for themselves within a Pokemon game. The way this works is so there's a few kind of basic rules. You can kind of change them as you go, depending on what sort of run you're doing. But the basic ones are when you first enter a route, the first Pokemon you see, you can catch. Any other Pokemon after that, you cannot catch. If you kill that Pokemon, you can't catch any other ones. If you catch it, that's the one you get for the route.
Okay.
So there's a limited amount of Pokemon like within the pool you can get in the entire game. If a Pokemon faints, it is considered dead. You have to release it as soon as possible. It is not a usable Pokemon. And then there's a couple other rules you can add, like no item clause, like you can't use any items to heal, limited amount of visits to the Poke Center, like a bunch of crazy stuff.
So what do you do if you run out of visits to the Poke Center?
Then you just gotta
run is over?
Yeah, you go to the mart maybe and buy potions and try to
and heal them all.
Oh my gosh, but then money becomes a resource. So
I'm into that.
Yeah, it's a really interesting way of playing a Pokemon game, and adds so many more stakes because then you're gonna end up using a Farfetch, and you're like, I would never use a Farfetch, but it's the one I got for this route. And
now you have to learn its moves, and that makes a lot of the mechanics so much more important.
And you become emotionally attached to this little runt of a Pokemon.
This really shitty Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we mostly do those on my channel. This is the first time I've played a Pokemon game where I'm not Nuzlocking, so I'm going super hardcore nerdy on it. But I really recommend Nuzlocks. They're really fun.
Rules. Yeah, I saw Tucker Jericho doing what he called a permadeath.
Yeah.
Run, and I was like, is that a joke?
Well, Nuzlocke's the same deal, right? If you die, you die. That's it. You're done. Yeah.
If you have to restart the entire game if you white out.
That's what I thought.
I'm into it. I was just I have a couple of games that I'm tackling because of the sheer ridiculous difficulty. I put this hardcore difficulty mod of Final Fantasy VII that makes it every turn is really, really important, and you have to learn all about the stat system that never mattered before. I'm trying to play through Doom on Ultra Nightmare, which has been a fascinating challenge because you have to learn the AI of every enemy and how they behave.
Do you remember when you come back? Because when you die and you stop, you have to start from the very beginning, right?
Yep.
So do you remember all the stuff that you did coming back into it weeks later or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, there's a muscle memory just in the fights of how the enemies behave and how the different guns work and what guns you need to use at which ranges on which enemies and in which situations. The thing that gets me is there are instant death things in Doom. There is one and only one sequence in the game where you can fall too far and die. And I didn't know that, but then I found it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Did you reset the whole entire game?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep. Yeah. And then there have been glitches where
Oh, glitches will get you.
Yeah, if you're so there's instances where there's a staircase that's broken and the stairs are leading up over a jump over lava. Fall in lava, you die. Mm-hmm. So if you jump too early, your foot will just clip one of the things and completely throw off the trajectory of your jump, and then you just tail into the lava. So a lot of it is minimizing risk in situations like that, but there is just that weird little demon that will come in and just kill you.
Yeah.
It's dead, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's just you gotta be fatalistic about games like that.
Yeah, permadeath Minecraft
Nuzlocke
feels similar. Permadeath in general, I think is a great added rule for any game. It totally changes the stakes. We did a few permadeath streams where if you died, you end stream. You don't get another word.
That's
so
awesome.
It's you just play with a bunch of friends. I think we did a Diablo 1. We haven't done enough of them, honestly. We should do more. But the idea, we did one in Minecraft, I think.
Diablo 1 or
Diablo 3. There's a hardcore mode, which is too easy, honestly. We just went.
Yeah, Diablo 3 is easy. Diablo 1 is a motherfucker.
Yeah, I never played Diablo 1, so.
Oh, you should try it out.
Yeah.
It is the closest to an actual roguelike that Diablo's ever been.
I'll do a permadeath with you for 4.
Yeah.
I wanted to do the World of Warcraft one.
Yeah.
That you guys did. They did that.
Oh yeah, the Amish challenge.
And I really wanted it because
that's where you just can't fight. You have to farm your way.
No, man, I'm gonna give all my trade secrets to Lawrence right now.
Sorry, you don't have to.
I'm proud of these. So the Amish challenge was probably, I think, the best conceived challenge we've done on any of our streams. But the idea was we had a bunch of streamers. We all made level 1 pandas in World of Warcraft. And the idea was it's permadeath, so if you die, delete the character. And you can only use gear that is crafted by other people taking the Amish challenge. So we became this family, this Amish family with pandas that roamed city to city, gathering supplies to for example, all the leather workers would have to craft gear to gear everyone that's a leather user.
I love it.
And if that person dies, suddenly you're not getting any more leather.
Right.
You're just hard cut off. So it's this family trying to support each other. And every once in a while there's a tragedy and someone's lost, and it's everyone else feels it because you just lost a huge source of some resource.
Oh, that's so great. That's so great.
We got pretty far. We got up to Stratholme, which is level 60-ish, or 50-ish, I guess, in retail. And then one of my emotes, the Judd emote, is my character, and he.
Judd?
Yeah. There was one bad pull, and basically we lost our tank. And as soon as we lost our tank, I was a shadow priest. I bubble myself. I ran around the corner, and I just hearth, and you can hear over the comms this realization that I had abandoned our family, and they just one by one start falling until it gets silent, and I'm I just quietly walk out of Orgrimmar in PvP mode, just walking into Durotar, and it's this incredible finale where an Alliance panda sees me and he's you must pay for your crimes, Judas, and he unsheathes, and
you are a terrible person, Criken.
Well,
you abandoned
I
your
play terrible
entire family.
characters. I like to think I'm a great person.
I like to think I'm a good person. When somebody says a sentence, I have to worry about them.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Hardcore Gamers Podcast.
Hell yeah. Oh, man.
Where we only talk about hardcore gaming.
Speaking of, I brought a new energy drink. I'm trying to find a sponsor for my brand.
Your
gaming.
Your brand of Lawrence? Is
Yeah.
that what it is? Okay, all right.
So I saw this in the CVS. This is Celsius water. It's sparkling kiwi guava. It accelerates metabolism and burns body fat.
Oh.
What's it
That's
called?
good. Celsius.
Show the camera the logo there.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, you gotta, if they're going to sponsor it.
You want to sponsor me up? Hit me up. It's a little shiny there, but
that was good, huh?
yeah, I'm gonna set some high scores with this bad boy coursing through my veins.
I don't know if that's not sponsorships. We just kind of
1,000%
placement and then ask for money.
Yeah, no, I know. It was funny. We used to. So there was a thing. I remember on television when I worked in television, producing television. They would do a thing called Greek, and you Greek the logos, basically meaning you get rid of the logos. And I remember asking why. I was like, why do you Greek the logos? And they were like, oh, because if the logos are showing up, then that means they don't have to pay for them. So they're getting free product placement, and I was always like,
I heard a different excuse.
I was just kidding. You tell me the excuse you heard, because I've heard a bunch of different excuses. Yeah, go ahead.
The one that I heard is that in a given production, if you have a well-known brand in it, then that brand can claim that you were using the popularity of their brand to boost your clout. So if you have a Coca-Cola product on your stream but you didn't pay for it, then they can come and sue you and say, oh, you were using the popularity of Coca-Cola to make yourself seem more legitimate and popular or whatever.
And I've also heard that those brands are endorsing your show if they're in it. All of which I think are entirely false. I think those are all terrible excuses, and I think the actual reason was because they wanted them to pay for it.
Yeah.
They wanted them to pay for their placement, And I guess in that case, then it sort of makes sense. But even then, to me, it always lends credibility to a movie or a television show if it's supposed to be taking place in real life when you see a real brand.
Yeah.
I always thought that was kind of cool. So I don't know. I think it was, to me, it's just a money grab. So when you show Celsius, then they're going to be like, "Whoa, Lawrence drinks Celsius."
For
they're
the,
going to pay you
the hardcore
$5,000.
gamer on the go.
Why do you sound drunk?
I don't know. It's all the energy.
Yeah, all the energy it gives you is just going right to your head.
Yeah, I'm dedicating 98% of my brain to gaming. You think I'm here right now, but no, I'm playing Doom. I actually kind of am. I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah, how come you're not hunting for shinies?
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
It's okay. You're allowed.
That's a good question though. Like, what's a game that has occupied your headspace after you're done playing it? Because for me, like when I was super into StarCraft, I would like play matches back in my head and be like, "Oh, that's where I messed up," or I could have tried this, or he was probably doing this at this point. Kind of the same with Street Fighter to a degree, but man, StarCraft 2 got me good.
Yeah, there's a lot for me.
There's
that fall in that category.
Yeah, there's a lot for me recently too.
Yeah, a lot of them are like these dream states where you're like half awake, half asleep, and like your brain is still thinking in terms of the game.
Yep.
Which is such a surreal experience. I sort of had that recently. I think maybe it was even last night. I was doing a Mountain Blade stream, and I have like a really fun character. Like the way you do Mountain Blade is like there's an overworld where it's like Risk, and you're playing this like grand campaign of building up an army, like becoming a king, and then like running of vassals and everything. And then there's this micro game of you encounter bandits and you got to fight them in an open field with like horses and everything. And that constant switching between like those two different sides of your brain is really addicting as a game. But then when you go to sleep, like it I think it actually messed with like how I was like like perceiving everything, because I see life now as this mix between macro world events and then like micro shoot bandit with arrow. So
well, I mean, that's the way real life is.
I guess it is, yeah.
Strategy
It's just we're stuck in first person, which is so annoying. When can I just scroll out so I can go back to third person?
That's not. You can't do that in real life.
You can't do that.
I played Star Wars Galaxies so much when it came out.
Yeah.
For I think it was like 2 months straight. I played it 8 hours a day. It was like a job, and this is way before you could stream anything. And I remember driving. I was driving somewhere. I hadn't played the game so much. I was driving somewhere that I could see the beacons in front of me that highlighted different waypoints.
Yeah.
So like in Galaxies, you'd walk through and you'd see like different quests.
Wait, in real life when you're driving?
Yeah, but I was driving and I saw one and I instinctively tried to go that way, and I was like, "Oh no, wait, hold on, that's fake."
Just to go to a sidewalk and just like
That's totally fake. And I would for days I saw them, and eventually they went away after I stopped playing.
Jesus Christ!
But that was weird.
That's like those flashing things when you close your eyes, you can like see like lights and stuff.
Yeah, that was burned into my brain.
Yeah, that can definitely get you arrested, I think, if you don't have a good
If
excuse.
there's somebody there or not.
Yeah, I mean, if they played Star Wars Galaxies, if the cop played Star Wars Galaxies, he'd probably get it.
Nobody
Well, I guess-
played that game.
Yeah, those are two kind of different sensations, I guess, because there is the Tetris effect, or if you play enough Tetris, you start to see Tetris blocks moving in the world around you, or in grids and stuff like that. Which I guess that's kind of what you're talking about, is a little subliminal. But there's also, I guess, the maybe it's like something like The Witness, where you stop playing it and you're thinking about a puzzle you got stuck on.
Oh yeah, that's normal.
A little more active and
Yeah,
like forward brain stuff.
I don't know. That was. Is that a bad sign? When you've been playing a game that much, I feel like that's a bad sign, right?
I mean, who's to say what's good and bad in the world,
I mean, there are. We can say that certain things are bad,
Okay.
like pedophilia.
Okay. We can put that, we'll have a category.
Yeah, we'll put that in the bucket.
We'll put the gaming thing in a maybe.
Okay.
yeah.
We'll have pedophilia on the left, and then good. we'll put-
Murder's bad.
Good
Murder's-
is,
well,
well, unless
hold on. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Unless-
Murder's bad.
murder for the cause of the Lord.
Well, that's terribly. Hold on.
That's more of a crusade.
Assisted
or an
suicide?
Inquisition.
It's implied.
Assisted suicide. There you go.
Somebody's fatally ill. They're in pain. They don't want to die a long, slow, painful, agonizing, dehumanizing death.
Yeah.
one of-
Or dog.
I don't
Or
think
no, that's a
dog.
good dog.
That's good dog.
Okay.
That's not murder though. Murder. It's implied. The word murder says that like basically
Yeah.
somebody
It's
was
not
killed.
consensual?
Yeah, exactly. Somebody was
non-consensual
Non-consensually.
kill.
Yeah.
What about Hitler?
Oh, that's a good point. So like somebody just said,
I think it counts as bad.
Unless it's murder of a pedophile. Somebody said in your chat, which is
Okay, then now we're starting to justify murder. And it's like, okay,
Well, let's take it right out. Put it back in the middle.
let's
right
just
next to
go. We're
gaming.
going right back in it. All right, that's
Murder is right next to gaming.
Now
They were
wars-
right all along. Oh,
wars are just another version of that.
Yeah, that's different though. That's like, see, that's not murder per se. You know that when you're going to war, you might die.
Yeah, semantics.
I'm just letting you know that there are ways of saying you're not committing murder, even though somebody is dead or had been
killing
killed.
somebody against their will.
I feel like yes, because there's like premeditated murder, and then there's involuntary manslaughter, which isn't murder, manslaughter. But somebody died, so somebody dying doesn't always equal murder.
It's called justifiable homicide.
It seems like
so like if somebody's attacking you and you feel for your life and you kill them in return.
That's like self-defense, kind of.
yeah.
Yeah. Which, man, there are so many dudes who just cannot wait to murder, and they're hoping for a moment like that.
Yeah, really? That's like Texas.
I mean, yeah, I grew up in Texas.
Welcome.
And yeah, I was surrounded by that. I grew up in Texas, and I took a lot of martial arts classes in Texas. And yes, surrounded by dudes who had at least 8 knives on them, and we're like, bro, when that murderer comes after me, I'm gonna fuck him up.
Did it ever come? Did it ever happen?
No,
One
because
day.
we didn't live in a civilized world. I mean, I would lived in a small town, maybe some of them, but there were dudes who, no joke, were just like convinced every moment somebody was about to come after them, or actually like secretly hoping. And so like, I gotta protect my family. It's like, is that why you're here and they're somewhere else and you don't even know where they are right now? And I don't know. It was interesting times.
God, that is
shit.
an awful video.
Yeah.
That's a great video.
That's terrifying.
Man,
Yeah.
that looked like. I wonder if that was fake. Was that fake?
What do you think, Chad?
Maybe.
Chad thinks
They're the
everything-
experts.
Chad thinks everything's fake.
I mean, it's hard to not think that though. Oh,
Oh no!
what a fucking hook though. Was that fake?
No, that's not fake. That's real.
Why do you clock that dude? What happened? Oh,
Oh, he's trying to-
He was exerting himself.
Woo. Right on the
Yeah.
butt. Too.
Speaking of which, chat, if you guys want to ask us any questions, now's the time. We're looking at all 3.
Yeah, this
Chats.
is a sensory
Unprecedented.
overload.
We are truly talking to the internet.
This
Yeah.
has never been a thing that's ever been
This is
done.
more representation on the internet than has ever existed.
Like legit though, this is the exact feature I hoped would happen.
Yeah.
It's just like 3 scrolling feeds and then just dumb internet shit in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it could not be better.
That's great.
Why aren't you shiny hunting? What is this then, buddy?
He's doing
Bang.
it.
Bang.
Chat,
Multitasking.
chat, why is your chat so mean, Criken?
I think they think it's a fun little thing. You know, we got a little dynamic. Like, I tease them, they tease me back. That's not the way it works. I tease them, they take it, and they're grateful. That's what it should be.
Lawrence, your chat seems pretty nice, right?
I hope so.
They seem nice. They seem like they're good.
Yeah, they're good, but I think the principle of like audience size kind of applies, which is not self-degrading. It's more like when an audience hits a certain size, given the ratio of like assholes to normal people in the world,
Yeah.
and as assholes just step up in size, they just overpower everything else. So I'm at a mellow size. I think we got a group. There's some assholes in there, but they're in check. But I think once I get my energy drink sponsorship, shit's gonna go.
Oh yeah, then
crazy.
your audience is gonna shoot up, and it's all gonna be assholes like Criken's chat.
Exactly. There's some good questions in there though. Somebody's asking Bruce, how did you feel about directing in Arizona Circle?
Oh, that was fun. I directed. Is it out?
Yeah.
Is the sketch out already?
It's out on Rooster Teeth first.
Oh.
Scales of Justice.
Okay, all right, it is. All right,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't want to spoil the sketch because I feel like if I talk about what the sketch is at all, it spoils it. So it was awesome. It was so much fun to direct that. I had a blast doing it. It was one of those things where the crew was already really good because we knew them from working with them for weeks, and so at that point it was really easy. I just dropped in. Everybody already knew what they were doing. Everybody already had amazing comedic sensibilities, of course. So I think it was probably the easiest way for me to get myself into the director's chair of just a tiny little sketch. It's like a 2-minute sketch, but it was really fun. That was something I'm really glad I did. I would love to do more of it at some point. So I don't know.
I was going to ask actually about that.
Yeah.
So the way Arizona Circle, I mean, I haven't seen the whole sketch series
Yeah.
yet, but it was like members of Funhouse and then around them, like actors that were brought in based on the need of the sketch, or
Basically,
was it a consistent cast of?
It was
extras?
a consistent cast, so it's
Okay.
like all of Funhouse. Alana wasn't there as much, but everybody else was there pretty much most of the time. And then also Blaine, Chris, Josh Flanagan, Jessica Vasami. Was that it? Was there?
You said Chris already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so, those are the consistent people from Rooster Teeth. But then we would just hire actors as we needed.
Yeah.
And they're just people on Craigslist or whatever.
What sort of audition did you have them do? Like mostly.
That I don't know. I didn't have to audition the
Okay.
actors. But to me, I would imagine it was probably Tim and Eric.
Yeah.
Where they would be like, say this line, and then they'd say the line and be like, okay, that was awkward enough.
Yeah.
But we had some actually really good actors too. So it wasn't just like people that you found on Craigslist for $50. It was a real production. So it was really cool.
It was a real production.
Yeah, it was a real deal.
Yeah, everyone seems really impressed with the production value of it all, which is awesome.
Which is good. Yeah,
that's a good thing.
That is really good.
Yeah, it's. I mean, a lot of folks are just not used to that on Twitch or YouTube.
Not at all.
And there definitely is that worry of once you approach like better production value, it'll feel less authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what most people's concern is. Like once they see that, they're
It's also just not the content that people
are on there for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They come on because they get. I mean, I hate to put it so literally, but that's kind of our jobs is to understand that side of it. Is people want a certain product. They want a personality in a certain circumstance, and they want that to be steady and stable. And then suddenly you mix everything up, and I think people are pretty justified of being like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't recall asking for this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if you do your job right, then it's a good product, and people learn to like that too. But one doesn't ever guarantee the other. No way. And I know a lot of people tend to think that is like, well, all these people like me. They should like me in this other thing.
Yeah.
Boy, no. No.
It's never the way it works. Literally never.
Yeah, it's definitely a fine balance, I think, of knowing why they are here and then also being able to predict things they might also like, because you just keep giving them what they want. Like, someone's like a Fortnite streamer and they only play Fortnite, and then suddenly like Fortnite goes away or it's just like not popular anymore. Then like people are only here to watch you play Fortnite, so why are they watch you play another game? You need to find like what makes you your thing, like what is your identity, and then how can that transcend any one medium.
Yeah.
Your identity is that you're a really hardcore gamer that hates chat, right?
Which makes them crave your acceptance.
Exactly. I don't know. We just play around a little bit,
See, true.
True. I never would have thought they'd describe me as a hardcore gamer. I think they would have said I'm awful.
What? You just made up game types that make well, I wouldn't say challenging, but make games the most challenging they possibly can be.
Yeah.
That's pretty hardcore.
I mean, I like
playing upside down with one hand when you're a kid because you're.
I've always described it as like we try to play games weird. Like we look for ways to play games unlike how they should be, and then turn that into its own game. Like how to find a game within the game. So that's kind of, I think, more like it's not really like we're trying to win. I think I very rarely am playing a game to win. That's not really like the goal. Hence why I'm throwing all the time. It's all an act.
Is that why you lose all the time?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes
he only
sense.
ever loses when he wants to.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if it's scripted, and it's always scripted.
So, whenever you play on stream, you're not playing to win, right? So,
for the most part, yeah. I mean, I'd say there's a few games that I get competitive in. Ironically, Pokemon's one of them. I actually really enjoy putting together a competitive Pokemon team.
So I wanted to ask you about that because my limited experience playing Pokemon, and to an extent, I think turn-based JRPGs in general, have a very hard time making player actions matter. It's what I consider like the tic-tac-toe problem, and that in any given circumstance, there's one optimal move. Mm-hmm. So in a game like Pokemon, where you have 4 moves, and is it mostly just about the build? It's like it's almost like a card game of the build you're bringing in.
I think card game is a great comparison. It's like a card game with like rock paper scissors elements added in. So it's
when the criticals hit and like that can
go well, there's that randomization element, and that's part of it, and that can be mitigated by certain stuff. But the majority of it is like, okay, I picked this Pokemon for a reason. This Pokemon has access to this moveset, this typing, which means it's weak against these other ones. These other ones are like rarer, so I don't have to worry about encountering them as much. But if I do them, I'm screwed because it's a hard counter. So it's all kind of a numbers game of like, who do you want in your deck, making the optimal version of that one, and then how well does it fit with everyone else in your deck. And then there's the last part is getting lucky on a critical hit or predicting someone's move or like that sort of stuff.
I think the best games are a combination of chance and skill, because that's what poker is. Poker, and I feel like that's the game that everybody looks to be the most competitive luck-based game.
I can't stand luck in any game, competitive game.
Yeah, no, I know, but it seems
unless it's like Mario Party where luck is so dominating.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
which is fine. I can check out, or like Smash Brothers with items.
Yeah.
Like if it's just goofy fun and I was like, whoa, I lost. Oh, that's crazy. But when a game purports itself to be skill based, but then luck just eases on in there and misdirects everything, can't stand it.
I'm like you. At least I used to be like that, but the older that I've gotten, the more I then blame things on luck. So I go, you know what, fuck it. I had bad luck that time.
Yeah.
And then because a lot of the I mean I knew guys that would, like friends of mine. I would watch them play poker or other luck-based games or like Warhammer or D&D. They would roll 20s every time, every single time. And this dude, and he knew he had good luck, and so he used it. He would like sit there and he'd be like, I know what I'm going to roll, and he'd roll it, and then we all of us would be like, how the fuck did this dude? It's just because he had good luck. And that's one of those powers I never had.
But a little known fact: dice can be weighted in D&D. Now,
yeah, I know that.
Yeah, but
he didn't weight his dice.
You don't. Maybe he did. Maybe he got lucky and he had weighted dice by accident. If you throw, because like
okay, all right.
Apparently, I learned this from Brett. Actually, he's a good friend of mine and my editor. If you put dice in the water, I forget if you have to like spin them first or just they float. Okay, and if they float, the number they come up to when they're floating, they will come up to more frequently than others. They're weighted to land on that.
Really?
I am pretty sure. We tested this.
But wouldn't you have to do like 1,000 rolls to get a really good data set?
Probably.
All right.
Yeah, which he may have done.
We didn't.
What a hot afternoon.
We just rolled it once and we're like, that's a 2. And we just threw it out the window. Like, that dice is broken.
Fuck that. Oh, okay.
That's wild.
Guys, it's Friday night. Fill up the tub.
I just assumed
he does some dice.
I assumed that dude had good luck. And I was always very jealous of him, but maybe he just had weighted dice.
Yeah, we're too.
Jeez, wow, that's really sad.
Warm salt water. That's it. It's the salt water. The salt does it. Salt's magic.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Makes it more buoyant.
Yeah, it's the buoyancy.
What, do you put the dice in warm salt water,
yes,
and then it shows you what it's supposed to land on?
It's like a thing like a magic 8 ball.
Will rotate
you know?
to the bottom. Yeah.
Think like a magic 8 ball that only lands on try again. Like, you know.
Right.
So that little cute little, you know, what's how many sides are on the magic 8 ball usually? On the little blue thing.
On the blue thing?
8?
It's got to be 8, right?
Yeah. So it's that, but if it were to only land on the same thing, it's probably because it's weighted in that direction.
That'd be Kingdom Hearts 3. Come on, Chad. I finish games sometimes. There's some Game of the Year discussion happening. Kingdom Hearts 3 does not belong anywhere on that list.
Not at all.
No.
I think people were saying Jedi Fallen Order was left off the Game of the Year, and I agree.
People were getting a little hefty about that, but I think it came in after the nomination period or something.
You're
that
right.
was sort of.
I haven't got to play it yet because of Pokemon.
Oh, it's great.
Is it good?
Oh, it's great.
All right,
it's really great.
Try it.
I was reserving. It has been. I was reserving judgment because I like Star Wars, and so when I played it, I was like, man, it's really good. But I like Star Wars, so I was like, oh yeah, it's cool. And then I talked to a bunch of other people, like pretty good sample set, and everyone's like, no, it's a really good game. And I was like, oh, thank God. All right, good.
Oh, for music, I still know about that. About that? Kingdom Hearts 3, best music of the year? Nah.
No.
Borderlands 3 had a really good soundtrack.
It
I'll say that. It was really quiet based on the default mixing of the game.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I guess that's probably why.
It was really, really low, which is a bummer because there was some.
There's just a lot of dialogue they wanted to put focus on.
Oh God, damn, man.
Yeah.
I every time I think I'm done being mad about the last 2 hours of Borderlands 3, I think about it and I get mad.
I never finished it actually. Now I think about it.
It gets worse.
All of my friends sped ahead of me like one weekend when I was away. I just never came back to it.
It's cool. It's fine. I enjoyed playing it with friends, but I would not sit down and play that game alone. It's the same with Destiny. I was just talking to Farley about that. Like Destiny, like I love that we played together and did the raid and all that other stuff, but like I wouldn't touch that game if it were me alone because it's like it bores the hell out of me.
Yeah, I bought the new DLC to play with my friends because I was like again traveling, and then when I came back, they were like, "This is the new thing," and so I was like, "I want to play with my friends," and I played it one night. And I just didn't enjoy it at all, and they kept playing it. So
that's okay. That's valid.
Destiny 2 it's rough. Like I feel like most MMOs are rough because it's not a game until you get to the end game, and then it is a hell of a game. So like Destiny 2, it's a big grind, and then the game is how can you min-max the grind, and it's shooting heads, and that's always fun. But then when you get to a raid, then all of a sudden everything matters.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's like the raids are great, and then so I was like, I'll try to get the raids, and then I looked at how much grinding I had to do left. I'm like, well, I'm not enjoying myself now.
Yeah.
It's like if I didn't enjoy the WoW Classic gameplay, then I wouldn't grind to get to the raids in WoW Classic. But I did.
I'm the opposite of you. So I stopped WoW Classic because I didn't enjoy the grind. And for me, because I really wanted to get to the raids because I have never gotten to do a World of Warcraft raid. And I was like, man, I really want to just grind to 60 dead. I would really love to because I've heard they're amazing. Oh, they're not amazing?
Well, sorry.
I know you like them, right?
I like them.
Yeah. I like them too. They're experiences, though.
Yeah.
Depending on the crew you're with.
Yeah, I think it's more of a communal thing. It's like if you got a good crew, You're doing it weekly.
Yeah.
You're checking back in, like, while you're doing the raids, everyone's, like, gambling and, like, doing other fun stuff. Like, our guild on WoW is obsessed with just
Playing Bejeweled.
constantly gambling. But, like, you know, it's just, it's like a reliable thing every week. We can do this. Takes, like, you know, 2 or 3 hours, and we know someone's getting away with, like, something they're happy about, some gear they're excited, you know.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. That's why I like Destiny, because Destiny's barrier to entry for the raids is lower.
Yeah.
There's less time to grind. You need less people to do it with. I still think that and I think the end game, like Lawrence says, it turns into a video game at that point. Like, and it's also some of the most cooperation you'll ever do with anybody. Just like, I assume, just like World of Warcraft raids. Like, you have to coordinate with 30 people or 40 people or whatever it is, which is awesome.
There's a lot of similar mechanics in WoW raids to what you've seen in Destiny raids. Of stuff like getting a buff or a debuff that then means you have to do certain things with other people that have similar status effects. And you have to do things at certain times, there's DPS phases, or you'll wipe, things like that.
Yeah.
Man, Final Fantasy, for me, and this is another... like, I enjoy talking about Final Fantasy XIV because everyone immediately goes to sleep. But it has, like, the most mechanically intense, like, MMO fights I've ever been a part of.
I think my chat loves that game. They've been asking if I were to play it at
That's
some
a real
point.
gamer's game.
I was going to say, Lawrence, he'd get you into it. He's been playing for years.
There's boss fights where it's like 3 phases. It takes like 14 minutes, but one hit for anyone will knock them, like wipe them immediately. So everyone has to be like Blue Angels, razor precise.
That's cool.
Yeah, and like the music is just ridiculous, and a lot of the fight mechanics are really, really cool.
Yeah, I like the fights where you really feel your class's like energy, like, you know, you're able to actually see, you know, your choice to be this specific class will make a difference in this scenario, like optimal, you know.
That's why I would always pick a healer in World of Warcraft Classic. I would never get to the to the raid because I was always really excited to heal my teammates, but I bet I would get yelled at.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like if you... I love being like healer or tank because you were a pretty vital... I mean, actually 14 does a really good job making DPS super important too. But traditionally like healers and tanks are the focal point of any raid because they have to control all the mobs or keep everyone on their feet.
Yeah.
And if the DPS are standing in fire and they're taking a nap, then suddenly it's your fault that you're not healing people enough, which is real fun. And that means that you have to... Being a healer is often you have to be as diplomatic as you are skilled to like de-escalate people yelling at you. I've had to do a bit of that. And then it's also fun too when people choose to pick a fight with the healer because you're like, man, I could just stop healing.
Yeah, you just stop healing that one guy.
Do you understand that I'm the one with the power in this conversation?
Whenever we did the Amish challenges with Tomato, he would always play a healer, and then I guess he would often play a healer, and he would really he treated every single expected function of his class as a privilege, and like if we weren't nice enough to him, he's like, well, I'm not gonna heal you, you're gonna die. Or he's like, if you want leather, then you better pay me extra. I'm the leather baron. Like he would really went extra with
lord it over you.
Yeah,
he didn't abuse his authority.
Yeah,
that's I don't know, because I always play a healer like in team-based games like Overwatch and Team Fortress. I always really liked playing a healer because I like cooperation in games, but man, oh man, it gets frustrating when you get yelled at. And not like I understand because you've been on the other side of it, right? You're DPS and you want to get healed, but you die, and you're like, where the fuck was the healer?
Or that Genji just shredding it.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are my heals?
But my least favorite part of playing any of those games was always I'd be behind everybody because that's usually where the healer is supposed to be, and I would always get shredded by any rogue, Genji, whatever. It didn't matter. And I'd always be like, please protect me. Please protect me. Please protect me.
Please.
All you got to do is protect me. Just keep me alive and then I die. And
they get the bloodlust. They can't hear anything, man.
All you need to do is turn around. Just turn around. If I call it out, turn around, shoot him. That's it.
When the
and I'd be like, Genji behind you, and then I'd die, and then I'd be like, all you got to do is turn around. That's it. That's all you got to do is turn around. And they wouldn't. It's just like you play certain games, they wouldn't do it. But other times you'd see people that were actually looking out for you, and it was so exciting because you'd be back there as Mercy, not shooting anything and being like shredded by someone, and then somebody would turn around and actually kill your aggressor, and you're like, whoa, thanks for the teamwork, man. And you felt even better. So
get that sexual thrill.
I loved it, man. I fucking loved it. There is something about working
Slip that in, no one.
Yeah, no, of course you get a sexual thrill from working with other humans. I think if humans work together to do something,
Melvin knows what I'm talking about.
Are you still talking about sex?
A little bit.
Then I think that I feel like there's nothing we can't achieve, right, guys?
You're right.
Yeah.
Guys?
You're absolutely right, yeah.
100%.
Right there with you,
You
Bruce.
guys don't even care. You guys don't even care. Whatever.
Oh, I've been there. The crazy thing is, like, I love that. I love the group dynamics that come out of games and like complicated scenarios like that, because it's
The
like
inherent neuroticism of tanking. Sorry. I just
yeah, oh yeah, Big Daddy Tank. But like you do need a leader, but that doesn't mean that they're like the best player. You just need somebody who's got the brain to sort of organize everything and kind of know people and tell them what they need to hear when they need to hear it in the way they need to hear it. And that's always it's just kind of cool to see like groups that work find the right dynamic and figure out how to work together.
That's what I enjoyed about the WoW raids is like, you know, having like is that your reaction every time you hear it?
No. This,
Kangaroos. It's just, come on, that's normal for them.
That's normal for them.
It's such a cool idea. Like a
concept
cartoon
of a
kangaroo
kangaroo
is very clean and nice, but man, in reality, it's just a big
Where'd he
old hole that
go?
opens up and
It's all slimy in there.
there's like a big old
Yucky.
foot sticking out. And, ugh. Anyway, sorry. WoW raids.
I watched when I was a kid. I watched Kangaroo Jack. I went with my grandmother, and there was literally no one else in the theater, and that was the single hypest moment of my life at that point, where I was like, I had this entire big room to myself, and I was dancing, I was jumping around, I was like, this is a party, and like she was like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I love Kangaroo Jack. I ended up falling in front of me on like the seats ahead of me, and I'm like, doesn't matter, no one's here. I was a happy kid.
That rules.
That sounds like a great time. Have
Yeah,
the
it was
theater
a great
to yourself for Kangaroo Jack. Although I don't even really know how that movie. I think it's probably shitty.
I would watch it
Is that the
again
one with
if
the
I had a theater to
kangaroo?
myself.
He's got like the big old
you
puffy
got the
jacket
glasses
and the glasses. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this is the setup is set up that we can just go looking for Kangaroo Jack, but
We can totally look for Kangaroo. The problem is if we play it, then we can't put it on YouTube.
Just look up the cover.
no,
art.
never mind.
Here, you know what?
I just wanted the cover.
Look up the poster, because it's Kangaroo Jack is very radical.
Yeah, I mean, all you gotta see is that those shades.
There they are.
Look at them.
Look at him.
This movie was, I think, widely accepted as one of the worst movies of all time.
Why is he from Brooklyn?
I think it doesn't deserve that.
I'm pretty sure.
Is he
that-
from Brooklyn?
I mean, he's wearing a hoodie that says Brooklyn on it.
Oh, wow. Oh, you know what?
That's the tagline. He stole the money, and he's not giving it back.
I'm pretty sure that this was one of the worst movies of all
I'm
time.
trying to remember.
Hold on.
I'm trying to remember the plot.
Are you thinking about Theodore Rex?
No, what is that?
That's the one with Whoopi Goldberg where she like got
Oh.
sued to stay in the film.
Yeah, 8%. Yeah,
Well,
that's-
I gotta watch. Is that a CG rapping kangaroo?
Yes, ECG, 100%.
But he's like.
He's rapping.
So when your mom took you to see this film and you were
Like
grandmother dancing around in the theaters, do you think that she thought you may have been a special child?
My whole family thinks I'm special. I'm
We're all on the spectrum, Bruce. It's all right.
Yeah,
I mean, we are. It's true.
Every last one of us.
we're all special in our own different way. Mine's just the way of dancing in the theater alone to
Wait, was
Kangaroo
that
Jack.
reopen that tab if you could, please? Oh wait, you're on incognito.
Incognito. What did you want?
I
Kangaroo
think
Jack?
I saw a sequel to Kangaroo Jack in that list there somewhere.
Kangaroo Jack 2.
I mean, you probably
Kangaroo
did.
Jacks.
I'll go through this.
Go to the images tab.
Now there's two kangaroos.
there is a 2. Oh, there it is.
Wait, Kangaroo Jack, Good Day, USA. I know what I'm watching tonight.
Is
Did
this
they make
real?
him...
No, it's not animated.
It's
is
an
it?
animated
It's
sequel.
animated.
An animated sequel to 2003's Kangaroo Jack.
How do you go from live action to animated in a sequel?
And direct to video.
That is so bold. I am...
Yeah, what a vote of confidence.
Yeah.
The
Do
Kangaroo
you think
Jack.
there's a-
This IP is strong enough. It can weather the transition from real people
Do you think there's a Rotten
to
Tomatoes?
2D.
Hold on, let's see here.
Name...
Wait,
all right.
hold on. Wait,
Chat.
because I think there was a 3 in there too.
There's a Kangaroo
No
Jack, Good
way.
Day, USA. Okay, so
Okay.
what do you?
There's no way
What do
there's a
you?
three.
This is one of my favorite games. What do you want to guess this got?
But it was a
on Rotten
DTV.
Tomatoes?
Did it get enough reviews to
Wait.
even get it?
I'm going to say 12.
12%.
It got
better than
4%
the
better.
first one.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
what about you, Lawrence?
I don't think it got enough reviews to rank in.
So it just
Oh, it surely
effectively
did.
a 0.
in A.
40?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh.
Effectively a 0.
Okay, but it's a 40 from the audience. I count
The
that.
first one was a 28%.
He's even more gangster. He's wearing a tracksuit now and a big ass gold chain.
gold chain.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah. Okay, well, I got
Okay,
some homework to do.
I'm
now.
challenge for everyone.
And me. Watch Kangaroo Jack and Kangaroo Jack.
No,
sorry, I didn't mean to get ahead of you.
That's not the challenge.
Okay, sorry.
Think of another IP
All right.
that has gone from live action to 2D.
Ghostbusters. Sorry, finish your challenge.
What was the Ghostbusters 2D thing?
That was the
They had
3
an-
cartoons.
They had an animated cartoon show. Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that. But, no, as a movie though.
Oh, okay.
New challenge. Stuart Little 3.
Oh,
Wait, did that go from live action? Yeah.
Did it start off? Chipmunks. Well, no, Chipmunks start off as animated. I'm saying start with the gross people, and then you go
live
to
action to animated.
Yes, that is a very unusual.
I don't think the
twist.
mask didn't do that. Mask
Feature
was
length the whole time?
Yes.
There was a mask cartoon, but it was a TV series.
Yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse. Well, it started off as a 2D show.
Yeah, it started off as a comic
Well, it
book.
started
Yeah.
with a comic book, yeah.
I'm thinking of like an IP, original IP.
Does somebody want a squad stream? You guys want to? I mean, like,
Oh
there's
yeah,
a-
we never did do Squad Stream.
The squad stream is truthfully, it's only for like
This one,
Yeah,
it's
you
just
just
to
see
see
the
other
same
chats.
thing 3 times.
you just see the same thing.
Yeah,
three times.
man.
I mean,
Pop out all those chats. And also, all the chats are on the stream anyway, so I don't think a squad would...
1998 Godzilla got an animated sequel. Huh.
Ew.
If anyone of the chats can tell me why squad stream would be a good choice, like if there's any other advantage besides this, let me know, and then I'll do it.
Really good.
'cause
I'm still thinking.
I'm curious. I'm trying to think of something.
Star Trek had a series.
It's just like a really interesting claim to fame that you could say Kangaroo Jack has.
Yeah, very
But they were the
unique.
first to do that.
Just
eventually.
Kangaroo Jack, yeah. It was
It gives you all views, does it? I don't think it gives you all views.
I mean, views don't necessarily matter so much on Twitch. You don't really get paid
Yeah.
off the view. And like, I guess
That's
if
true.
ads roll...
No, you're right.
It's if you click into each one, whichever one's the hero viewer, that gets the view.
Oh, okay.
As far as I understand.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Anyways. Yeah, chat. Let's talk more about Kangaroo Jack. Oh, Animatrix. That was a movie.
Animatrix. What was I don't remember the
It wasn't a
Animatrix.
feature length, though. It was an anthology. But still,
Close.
point stands, I think.
That's true.
We got Kangaroo Jack and Animatrix.
Oh,
People keep saying Starship Troopers, but I don't know that there was.
There was
ever
a
Was there an
CG
animated-
Starship Troopers.
Really?
Marauders.
Was it a movie?
Yeah.
Wait,
It was feature length.
there's another Starship Troopers?
There are many Starship Troopers.
Yeah, there are a lot.
There are at least 3.
Were any of them nearly as good as the first?
No.
I mean, at least in a bad way?
No. They were all pretty boring. I mean, there's a ton of RoboCops, too. Same
Yeah.
story. Like,
Okay.
they don't have that Paul Verhoeven magic. I think one of them got, what's his name back? James Vanderbeek? No, the other one.
Casper Van Dien.
That's it. Yeah, I think he reprised his character in one of the Starship Troopers. When I first got my Netflix subscription, I did not use it to watch art. I instead watched it to I instead used it to watch every Starship Troopers and every RoboCop I could find.
Of course.
Well, the RoboCop 1 is great. 2 is not very good. 3 is terrible.
3 is astoundingly bad.
Yeah, 3 is really, really bad.
But then there's RoboCop Dark Fate, RoboCop Regenesis. Like there's
What? Really?
there's a ton of bad RoboCops. And they're all like kind of shoestring budget, made on a dream because somebody really liked RoboCop and just couldn't bear to see it go. Yeah, you should check those out. They're probably all on Amazon Prime.
I'm not gonna
You should
do
do that.
One of my close friends in college, I went to USC's film school. I think we talked about this in the last podcast, but remember I
Why are
have
you talking like that?
I don't I was,
Why are you bragging
I was doing
about
a bit.
it? Why are you
alright.
bragging about the USC Film School? Nobody gives a shit.
I
Yes,
I have complicated feelings with USC film
I'm,
school.
I'm doing a bit with you. don't
Yeah,
worry.
but my friend, his favorite film going into the film school was
Boondock Saints.
RoboCop.
Oh.
And yeah, that's honestly every
Kangaroo
other person
Jack
probably.
2. Good day, USA.
Or Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, those two are like the most common ones. But for one of his projects, he remade RoboCop, but as RoboCock, and it was literally a POV where it just had a camera
Smith track.
out of his pants and filmed an entire bit. And I helped him with it. I was the villain that he shoots with his cock at the end.
What's the name of the villain? Do you remember the character's name?
It's on YouTube. I didn't have a name.
Is that the first person gun? Nope. James Bond.
It probably is a porn movie. I mean, I'm sure there's a porn movie equivalent to this.
RoboCock? Absolutely.
Yeah,
there
a
is.
1,000 of them.
100%. Yeah.
Well, I'm the one safe for work one, and I get shot.
What everyone
and
wants
then
to see.
The spoiler alert, or mute the video now if you don't want to hear the spoiler for this YouTube video. But the damsel in distress that I had stolen the purse from gives a kiss to the cock. As a thank you,
of course
for
she
saving.
does.
Yeah, it's very clever. Big shout out to Carter. He did a
I was
great
going to say,
job.
so what's Carter doing now?
He actually just released he edited for a movie that's on Netflix now.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
documentary.
really cool.
Christmas Prince
Yeah.
3. I got to catch up on my Christmas Princes. I don't know if they're all connected.
No one's ever said
I
that.
love that. I love thinking of like phrases that have never been uttered in the world before. I got to catch up on my Christmas Princes.
Yeah,
I think probably
I think you're right.
is one of those original ones. Like it fires off
There are
some
people in
endorphins.
this world that can roll 20s every time, but I have a gift being able to string together English sentences that have grammatically correct, never been said out loud.
And,
Yeah.
and also never been said like in the history of humanity.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
I don't
hope
think
so.
that's never been said, which is awesome.
Trying to think of another good one that I'm trying.
It's hard to think of
Yeah,
those
you can't think
sentences
of them at
until
the
you
moment.
say them, and then you're like, oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute. No, that's never been said.
Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat had a full CGI movie. That was fun.
It did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was even like a primer on Mortal Kombat lore that I think was meant to set up the TV show, and it was incredible. Man, you probably can't look that up, but man, it's good. Man, it's good because there's basically a narrator that reads the fighting game lore to you, and then there's like a 2-minute fight with really bad motion capture CG. Somebody dies, and then it goes back to the announcer being like, "And then Scorpion returned to the underworld," and it's amazing. It's like somebody reading a kid's book to you.
I wanted to talk about what we were talking about before, because I'm curious, Lawrence.
Yeah.
What is your game of the year this year?
Oh Jesus.
What's your game of the year? You know, I guess you don't need to pick one, but I'm curious to hear what your nominees are.
It's hard for me to get away from Tetris 99.
Oh. Okay.
Is like game of the year. It doesn't. I mean, I think that phrase means lots of different things to different people. Is it like the most popular? Did it have the highest art assets? Was it the best produced? Was it the most complicated? Did you get the most playtime out of it? To me, I think Tetris 99, in terms of game design and the way that it used an existing game and recalibrated it into a new
Brought it to
context.
the modern era.
Yeah. And its rollout too, like it was free on an online service for Nintendo, no less. And just the way that it also adapted, the way that it adapted like actual battle royale sensibilities. So it's funny, you guys were talking about the interchange of like luck and skill. And to me, Battle Royales is one of those games that has both to the factor that I cannot stand.
It does, yeah.
Whereas Tetris 99, there's an element of luck to it as well, but you're playing goddamn Tetris the whole time. And if you're really good at Tetris, then you're better poised to win, as opposed to Battle Royales where you're not shooting the whole time, you're running around and grabbing stuff, and then you shoot way at the end. And then if you're good at shooting, you win those fights. But I don't know. To me, it fixed a lot of what I find mechanically broken about Battle Royales, just for me. That's a personal statement. But I also really like Tetris, so it's just coming from a place that I just really love in
That's
the first
okay.
place.
I asked your opinion.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know.
I have a quick yes and to that.
They did have a Splatoon 2 theme, which, good for you. Only high marks in this book. Sorry, I keep saying what you're going to say before you say it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I shouldn't get to your point.
you are on such a different level. It's so exhausting to talk to Lawrence. Oh my god. Okay. Have you ever played Puzzle Pirates?
No, actually.
It was a MMO puzzle game from years ago, and I would argue they had Infinite Tetris. What was it called again?
Tetris 99?
Yeah, Tetris 99 before Tetris 99.
Oh.
Because they have a sword fighting game that is basically just ripped off Tetris, but it's PvP elements where it's like you have a puzzle where you basically position yourself.
You can do stuff to other players?
Yeah, and so once you board an enemy ship, you get randomly paired up with different enemies, and you basically have to do Tetris, and the better you do Tetris, and based on what weapon you have, you'll send swords into their base, and they've got to react to those and then fight back. So, there you go.
I'm into it.
So then...
there's been like competitive Tetris before. Well, yeah, I don't know how old Puzzle Pirates is.
Well, I was going to say, my question is Puzzle Pirates your game of the year, Criken?
Yes, it has been every year.
What is your game of the year, and why is it Atlas? No, I'm just kidding. What is it?
I want to try Alyx again at some point. I feel
Me
like
too. I actually really want to play.
We really just, it has the same problem as every game where like it launches too early and then everyone
It's all broken.
doesn't try it again.
What game did you enjoy the most this year?
Outer Worlds. No, fucking hell.
Outer Wilds?
Outer Wilds.
Wait, the one where you fly a spaceship?
Yes.
Dude, that game.
You fly a spaceship in both of them.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
You directly fly a spaceship in Outer Wilds.
That's
Yes.
right. Correct.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, good pick.
I had a real nice connection. I think that game marries a really interesting system and engine and kind of mechanic, which is just all physics based, simulation, with a really interestingly told story that is all player discover driven and doesn't spoon feed anything to you and encourages you to kind of be playful and solve a mystery without any hand holding. I don't know. And the ending point, I guess, or the what's the word,
The conclusion?
The conclusion, the climax, like the purpose, the message of the end was so special. Like, it really left an impact on me, and I thought about it.
Did you cry? Because they put a clip in chat.
The clip is also, the clip is me discovering the bad part of the game.
Getting through that section is such a memory.
Yeah.
And like, the older I get, the more games I play. Having moments and experiences like that is rare.
So I have a fear of...
Yeah.
I have a fear of fish. And this is...
I don't want this. I don't want this. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
But like, even scary games didn't
fuck.
can't elicit that, because I was never
You
that
sound like
tense.
Grateful.
Yeah, I like Grateful Lady.
And especially at the end, because they make you go through that sequence on a timer. Or I think actually technically the timer ends by the time you get there, but still, it's still very tense and like.
That's a spoiler, dude.
Sorry.
The ending.
Wait, you're allowed to spoil that game. The game's been out for months.
Yeah,
I mean, also the entire game's on a timer, so it's not quite a spoiler.
Yeah, but the final voyage, which is like the final song of the soundtrack, I think it's called the final voyage, and it feels like that. Like, the entire game is built on this like premise that you have.
Well, the clip wasn't over.
Oh my gosh! All right, chat. Jeez.
See, this is my clad is they're very whiny.
Holy shit! All right, here. Let me watch him fall out of a chair.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
All right, well,
Wait, that was it?
There was more. This is the worst.
That was a bad clip.
That was
then.
the wrong clip.
That's chat's fault.
That is chat's fault. See, this is why.
Chat.
So what happens afterwards is he comes and eats me and I fall out of the chair. So.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. All
so
right.
yeah, I spoiled it for you.
Spoilers. Yeah.
But yeah, the whole game is kind of built on this idea that like you have infinite resources of this thing, and you can just kind of be playful with it. And then at the end, there's like a twist that suddenly recontextualizes everything you've done to this point, and then also like is the most stressful I had ever felt in like a single 15 minutes? Was it 12 minutes? It's 8 minutes, I think.
I think it's 22 minutes.
Oh,
21.
each loop?
Yeah, it's pretty long. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I don't
whatever it
remember
was.
exactly.
That amount of time was like the most stressful amount of time in a game I think I've ever had. So I love
Also,
it.
yeah, man. Every time the loop resets and you hear the music start to pick
Yeah.
up, and you're just like, ah. And then there's that sense of like fatalism, but like serenity that comes with
Yeah.
like, I was so rushed to do this thing, and now I realize none of it matters, and I just need to find a window and just
Yeah.
find what calm
Enjoy
I
the
can.
moment.
Ah,
Yeah.
I'm getting chills thinking about it right
Right?
now. Yeah,
I think it was nominated for the Game Awards, right?
so it's probably like standout indie or something.
No, I thought it was nominated for Game of the Year.
Outer Worlds was. I don't think Outer Wilds was.
Really? I thought it was the opposite. I could be wrong. But here,
Good lord.
oh shit!
This happens. I'm convinced this happens once a week. That clip of the
Yeah,
ball.
somebody knocking out a monitor. They got to get those on wholesale or something.
Oh, Game Awards. I have that shirt on, fresh from
there you
Jeff
go.
Keighley himself.
Nominees.
Not
Wait,
really.
he handed it to
tight
you?
with
No.
Jeff.
I met him though at TwitchCon.
Oh no, you're right. It's Outer Worlds,
Yeah.
not Outer Wilds.
Damn.
I don't know about Death Stranding in there. I mean, God bless
you
him.
you liked that game?
You just
I
went
like
off
that
about
game
how
a
great
lot.
it was last week.
I was.
I will rave about that game. I don't think it satisfies. So hold on. What is it? Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative
creative
technologies.
technologies.
Death Stranding does not belong there, based on that.
Resident
phrase.
Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2 does though.
That's
Really?
what I was kind of.
That
so
game
I was
rules.
I was kind of bummed out because it's a great game, but it's also a remake. So for me, is it like a reimagining?
I
would you
mean,
call
on
it?
what level? Because it's so. There are story beats that are the same, but it plays differently. It looks differently. It's a new.
I'd
game.
say it's a really good game. I would have wished Outer Wilds was on there.
I'm actually really, and I'm also surprised.
agree.
Like, if you're gonna put a fucking pleb game like Smash Brothers Ultimate on there,
What, Bruce?
Well, here's the thing.
Smash Brothers is the best video game.
I agree with it, but also they didn't put a bunch of other games that
Yeah.
were pleb games that they could have put on there.
I'm glad Control got on there. Control.
Control's a great game.
There's
Great game,
basically nothing wrong with Control.
yeah. Okay, all right.
I want to try Control.
I only played
Oh,
like
dude.
3 hours. I loved it, but I only played like 3 hours.
Control is one of the few genuinely well-written games. It's like it's something more than just like you're a big man with a big dick and a big gun, and everyone in the world is going to tell you how awesome you are. Like, it's not that.
Yeah.
Which isn't to say it's the opposite of that either. It actually has just genuinely good writing. Tons of great lore into it. Oh man.
Chad, just so you guys know, I don't think Smash Brothers is a pleb game. I want to clarify. The reason I'm
settle it in Smash.
The reason I'm saying that is because
Show
there
you my
are
clout on
other
this
games
book.
that I mean, like at the risk of sounding like a fanboy, Apex. Apex is a fantastic game that came out this year.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that.
And what is it?
It's hard to argue with that.
Yeah. I mean, like but it doesn't have a fucking story. It's not a single player, et cetera, right? So like, I get it. I understand.
Smash didn't either. Is what you're saying?
Yes, it did. The World of Light.
Like again, Smash. No,
I raise you the world of light, sir.
It's a great game, and they always
Galeem.
Nintendo always adds something, but like Control's a very original video game, I think. And so is Death Stranding for that matter. So I feel like if you're going to have those sorts of games in that category, then why put in Smash Brothers? I don't know. That's just.
I think the scope of the game. I think.
Yeah.
The execution.
I think you're right.
I think. I mean, you can argue, like, Game of the Year could either mean like critically best piece of art, as a game, or you can argue it's like the social impact of a game. And I would argue something like Fortnite, like, would deserve Game of the Year because, like, yeah, it changes everything in like a big way.
Like Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go would deserve Game of the Year because, like, yeah, it made people think of, getting out of their house and doing like an AR experience.
Then it'd be something like Wii Sports.
Wii Sports, I would argue was Game of the Year back then too.
So yeah, I think everyone has a different definition of what that means.
What the Game of the Year is?
Yeah, and it's actually really fascinating because I think by the way people talk about it, you can kind of figure out where their head is at about what that term means. Because some people.
Oh man,
I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, dude, just clean. No, you're doing something way more important down there. A lot of people, and I still.
Well, could have gone worse.
I can't blame him.
I remember there was so much of this discourse back in the like PS3 360 era about games progressing and getting better, like fundamentally better. And typically people were talking about like quality of life was improving, but graphics, production value. And no one really stopped to question, like, if we're progressing, what is the end goal?
Yeah.
Because everyone would talk about this perfect game, the fucking like, what is it? The Orson Welles, Citizen Kane of games. That stupid phrase. As that someday we'd reach gaming nirvana, and somebody's going to make a game that's expensive enough and big enough, has enough actors in it that we'll finally understand what games were always meant to be because it was that. And luckily, I think people have backed off of that idea. But a lot of Game of the Year discussion was like, what's the closest to the perfect video game?
Reward the things that get us closer to that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never have thought of games that way. I've always thought of them as like different expressions, appreciating World of Warcraft versus appreciating like, Candy Crush are like, two very different experiences that I would argue have the same amount of merit depending on how you use them and like how,
you're talking about.
Yeah.
100%.
So,
I agree.
Games don't have to be world simulations to be profound and fun and capture the world's attention. I mean, Pac-Man was kind of an example of that. And Super Mario Brothers, like you just have to nail certain mechanics and make them accessible and fun and meaningful, and that can change the world.
Right. Were you choking up? Are you crying back there?
Citrus is Celsius. Sorry, is sticking in the throat there.
You can't talk about it like that. You're sponsored by them.
They haven't. I don't see anything in my bank account.
Not yet. All right, talk shit until they pay me.
I'm gonna hold you hostage, Celsius.
It's just like reverse lawsuits.
Until they pay me.
I've seen influencers do that. They'll have a sponsor, and then usually it's just like the really kind of fiery dudes on YouTube. If they do something shitty, and then people go after their sponsors, and then they'll tell their audience to boycott a sponsor that dropped them.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
The politics of sponsors.
Yeah, especially when like dudes try to weaponize their audiences against their business partners astounds me.
God,
that just happened with James Charles and
that's not just all right.
Well, yeah, like whatever, 4 or 5 months ago or something.
I don't know how time passes for you boomers. Right?
Was this the Insta?
That was a long time ago on the internet.
Sure, all right, but I couldn't think of another better example, so that just happened.
Yeah.
Jeez. Unbelievable. This judgment over here. You're like the chat.
I am.
You
I've learned
realize
too
that?
much from them. I spent too much time with them, honestly.
Speaking of Game of the Year and Game of the Decade and Citizen Kane games.
Oh, wait. Yeah, we didn't hear from you, Bruce. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I can't say, I want to say Apex, but I can't. So I got to say Jedi Fallen Order. It's not like a Respawn fanboy, but I really like what Respawn puts out. And they're generally are really, really well-received games, even if they don't sell very well like Titanfall 2. So I don't know. So I feel like Fallen Order is probably the safer choice to say is Game of the Year. But for me, it was Apex. Apex has seemingly changed the landscape for a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I mean, I also love that, like, I feel like Titanfall got really unlucky with their timing when they first came out, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's
everyone
true.
thought it was a great game, but there's just too much competition. Was it around Overwatch time? Was that what did it in? I forget what
For Titanfall,
the big competition
EA
was.
sent
at
it
the
to
time.
die because they released it like right next to Battlefield 1, I
it
think.
came out in March, I thought. I thought it came out at the beginning of the year.
Battlefield 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a really weird time for it to come out, and people were like, "This is great, but sorry, we
Yeah.
don't know what this is."
Call of
And-
Duty and Battlefield. Like,
Yeah.
And EA launched Battlefield and Titanfall 2 like the
Yeah.
week after.
Yeah, that was Titanfall 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was they were really because Titanfall 1 was released in a weird time as
I
well.
feel like both of them got shortchanged, but the team, like, the game was really good. I think everyone respected the team, so I think the way they were able to take what made them good at Titanfall and apply it to a battle royale, which is obviously the hot thing right now with Apex, was really impressive. So,
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. I think that's definitely one of the more influential games of the year.
You guys excited about Half-Life Alyx?
Yeah, actually.
I'm too.
I
Lawrence, I want to hear what I knew Lawrence wouldn't be.
Oh
very
boy,
excited.
you hear that big sigh?
Yeah.
There's a lot coming out. There's the temperature in the room just shifted. All right, there's gonna be a huge tirade in a moment. We're gonna get our word in before we
Please
open
do.
it up.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah. So I've been following the whole Boneworks thing for a while, and I think that obviously has a lot to do with what's coming up next, because I'm pretty sure developers that are associated with Valve and have been kind of in their pocket for a while now. But I'm just kind of fascinated by this, like, long-term play Valve has been trying to do with VR, especially now that a lot of people can kind of consider the VR bubble to have burst already. It seems like Valve's, like, not done, and they're like, hey, this was always our plan. We've got this big release. It's going to really give a reason finally why someone would buy a giant headset.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's enough. But
$1,000.
from what I've seen of...
$1,000, right?
It's $1,000?
For the new one? The new HTC Vive?
That's a spicy meatball. But,
Let's see here.
For Index.
Is it Index, right?
Yeah, for the index. But from what I've seen of the Boneworks engine / Source 2, whatever they're calling it, there's, like, some really next level stuff that is finally being done with VR, and that makes me excited. I think it's still largely in like a B2B, like business to business world, where it's like, a doctor will learn how to do surgery in like an incredibly realistic VR simulation. But if it is going to break into games, I think Valve's kind of the place for it to do it. So I wouldn't say optimistic. I would say I'm interested. I'm ready to see what they have to offer.
I'm around that same. I feel that same way with you, Lawrence. What about you? What do you think about Half-Life Alyx, the greatest video game of all time?
It's been a long time since Valve's made a game. I
That
think
you know of.
Yeah.
There's 8 in the bank.
I'm sure that
Yeah,
they've just
right.
been holding on to them for no reason. I think I don't want to make this sound too derogatory. Thinking purely from me as somebody who likes to consume good video games, there is a bit of resentment there that they got soft.
Just imagine that on a grave. Me,
Yeah. I mean,
someone who likes to consume
Good video games.
There's really not a more accurate description
Yeah.
of me as a person. So I'm a little bummed that they made so much money that they had to stop making they got to stop making
Yeah.
games. And I don't think that they came into the office one day and they're like, haha, we're not going to make games anymore. But I do think once that pressure's gone and you have nice catered lunches and you can just sort of sit around and noodle on whatever you like, which is cards and VR and like weird tech that goes nowhere, and making your own stupid operating system and trying to make your own bespoke PCs that go, like, they have had so many washout projects that I'm not sure that they would know how to make I guess to boil it down, I feel like they kind of lost touch because
Yeah.
they don't have market forces propelling them in that direction anymore. Now, you say they're working with a lot of Boneworks devs. I think that's why Half-Life Alyx exists.
Yeah,
This
totally.
is all in like smoky headspace. But I think that somebody came to Valve with a demo and they were like,
Yep.
"Oh, this is it.
Yeah.
We can make this Half-Life." And then they partnered. They crammed Half-Life assets in there. They got the writers back to write a Half-Life-y storyline.
Yep.
And that's not bad, but I don't think that that's necessarily
Yeah.
Half-Life. I don't think it's going to have the level design, or it might have. What I'm hoping for is like just crazy, wet, like wild VR mechanics. A lot of the guns in Half-Life universe could play really well with Boneworks, and the way that, like, just imagine like reloading an alien gun and like flipping a switch and hitting a button and it goes boop, and then you got a cool. I could see that being awesome, but it's not going to be like the experience that I remember from Half-Life. It might be different and just as good, but that makes it hard to quantify in my brain. And then I don't know, I just have reservations about Valve's ability to execute on a project like that.
Yeah.
Really? It's interesting that you say that, just because they've been the industry leader of, I mean, almost everything else video games when it comes to, I guess, digital distribution and things like that for long. But I guess maybe
what have they done lately?
They've gotten rid of all of their developers.
They had Artifact,
which was a joke.
Well, they didn't get rid of anyone. People left, but a lot of them came back, which to me is like, you felt, and again, I am implying a lot, but I can see somebody working at a developer like Valve, and flat management, do whatever you want, work on whatever you want. They go in every day. They're drawn on their race board. They're soldering things together. They're designing a game. But
Gabe, like, scooters past.
Yeah, knives falling out of his pocket.
Good job.
Honks his little horn. Yeah.
That's a little hard.
But I imagine at some point, like when you're on year 4 and there's no real cohesive team and there's no pressure to get something done, you start thinking, well, what am I doing with my career? And then, again, assuming a lot about this narrative, you leave, you go to another company, and they're like, we need this on this day, and you have to stay 12 hours to do it. And you're like, man, fuck that. And you go back to Valve. So you can eat like nice catered lunches and chill out again. I don't see a team congealing out of that atmosphere that gets a game done and the conditions that need to be, which isn't a good thing either. Because the way games are made now is kind of sad and inhumane.
Yeah, the sprints
crunch.
and stuff, the crunch. Yeah.
I think evidence that supports that is like, the Campo Santo. Like, every reference to Valley of the Kings just disappeared after they joined Valve. And I think they had a game demo working because they needed to make a game to pay the rent. Now they're in Valve. They were probably working on it for a while. At some point it probably just fizzled out because it was like Firewatch. And it's like, well, this isn't exciting enough to keep working on. And that's what happens when you don't have to make money anymore. So
I think that's a really good point. I think you're hitting the nail on the head. You're hitting all of the things that I was concerned about. I generally think I'm like optimistic when I think of these sort of things, but like I think everything you said is totally valid. The term of a team congealing is really fascinating to me. Like, not having the pressure of having to innovate and just letting the world go by and just kind of collecting royalties on every single sold game.
What you're describing is, I just read an article the other day, the philosophy of Jeff Bezos. He says basically every day at Amazon is day one, and the way he refers to day one is you're constantly trying to improve. You're constantly trying to innovate. You're trying to solve problems all the time. And he says once a company gets to day 2, that's when it starts dying. And that's a perfect example of why Amazon is now one of the largest companies in the world. And for the most part,
It's the largest, right?
A company that everybody... Is it the largest?
I think so.
I mean, Alibaba's probably bigger.
Oh, okay.
I was like... that blew my mind. I didn't know that Amazon was bigger than, like...
Or Alphabet.
Yeah, or Alphabet, or like Comcast, or Apple, or whatever. But it certainly could be. Either way, they only operate as if they are a startup. As if they are a brand new company solving problems every single day. And we've talked about Valve for years when we did that Half-Life 3 story.
Yeah.
And that was what we talked about then, which was like, they're just resting on their laurels. They're making money off of Steam for doing almost nothing.
Yeah. I will say, on the flip side, you could argue that they have a really unique and in-depth market perspective that no other company can have. At this rate, at least, in that they've been monitoring and literally seeing the data of every single purchase of PC gaming for the last, decade or two. And that would put them in a position where they could really accurately, if they're smart enough, predict kind of trends and get ahead of the curve in some way. So they may have some big plan, again, like it's the same argument of like, okay, Pokemon's like, I think one of the most profitable franchises, or the most profitable like IP franchise in the world. They make like 98% of their money from not this game. But they still make this game because it keeps a huge demographic, like a large subset of their audience interested, and have new releases that then go into merch and other goes down the ladder of all their monetizable elements. But Valve hasn't needed to do that because they don't have the same kind of IP focus that a company like Nintendo has.
The Pokemon ones, yeah.
So I don't know. I'm interested to see if they want to get back in the game because they say a couple of years ago they're like, we're gonna make games again.
They said they were gonna make. They said they had 3 VR games in active development, which I think turned into 1, which was Half-Life VR. Then turned into none because they couldn't get it done. And then a third party came in and said, "Hey, we're working on the shooter," and they were like, "Oh shit, here it is."
I just bought it.
Well, and
that's kind of what Portal was, right?
A little bit, yeah. They bring on DigiPen people and then they stop making games. I feel like
that's what they do with Counter-Strike. They hired a bunch of mod makers and then they were like, "Okay, Counter-Strike's our new game."
Well, and I want to give Valve credit where they deserve it because the way they've supported CS:GO is astounding. There is no game that's that old and still that relevant and still earning that much money.
TF2.
Valve's other game, or rather, they're one of their 3 games. Because Dota 2 still has an audience too. Yep. So their ability to nurture online audiences and competitive communities deserves genuine praise. Also, I think the way they gamify buying shit. Steam Summer Sales is a thing, and it didn't happen by accident. That was game design applied to to an online store.
Gamifying buying games.
Amazon has dipped a toe and stuff like that with their stupid events, but not to the extent Steam has with meta games where you're on teams and you got to learn all these rules, and it's just all down to buying stuff. Yeah. So that's interesting too. I also think Gabe and the executive or the management team at Valve, if such a thing exists, they deserve credit for not being assholes to their employees. You know, that's supposed to be the dream, right? Is you make your money and then everyone gets to chill out and work on what they find interesting, and theoretically out of that, good ideas happen.
Yeah, to be privately owned is rare. And
So I think they deserve credit for not being acquired or having stakeholders that push them, which lets them chill out and work on Steam controllers or Steam boxes or make their own fork of Linux or whatever.
But to your point, though, previously they had people leaving because they weren't making anything important.
Well, that's my assumption.
Nothing was relevant. Well, no, I mean, your assumption is correct because we know it's correct. We talked to people at Valve. Remember that?
Yeah.
They told us that.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things too, like that. A lot of people have been tweeting me, being like, "Half-Life 3's real. You lied." From we did a story years ago.
Half-Life 3, and
it's not Half-Life 3. But also that was one of the things we learned when we were doing that story was we didn't even talk about the fact that they were working on something in VR that was probably going to end up being the killer app they needed to sell their headset. Yeah. And we've been saying that for years. It was just something that we didn't come out and be like, yeah, that's what they told us because we didn't want to do that. So.
Well, and the context is funky too because this probably was supposed to ship with Index.
Yeah.
But I feel like internally Valve couldn't get it done because they can't / don't have to make games anymore. So they didn't do the crunch. They didn't. I don't know. I feel like, and again, this is assuming a lot. But I have certainly seen once you reach the top of the pile in any respect, you stop taking in ideas from outside. And when it comes to a new tech like VR, you have to be just absorbing every good idea from everywhere. And if they're we're Valve, we know it because we made it, and we're going to make the best game just like we did with Half-Life. And if they're just closing themselves off in a walled garden of development, then they're never ever ever going to get to killer app status because they're not taking in good ideas with other people, which is probably what, again, coming back to Half-Life Alyx, probably what that was. They finally were like, oh shit. Somebody came in to do a tech demo and they were like, oh, you guys figured all this stuff out.
Yeah, we can use this.
But still, it's I'm into it because it's the first thing that early adopters will get in on, a really fun game that uses VR in a fantastic new way. They're willing to set aside an entire room of their house for it. They're willing to pay. Was it $500? I thought it was way more than that.
No, it's $1,000. You're right. So it was $500 for the add-on. That Index is to the Vive.
So it's $1,500?
No, it's $1,000. So it's $500 plus $500.
If you already have the Vive, it's $500.
Yeah, if you already have the Vive or the Vive Pro, the Index is an add-on that's $500. So you pay $500 for the base and then $500 for the add-on.
And then there's some X factors. We don't know if you can play it seated. I would assume not. And if it's
we better be able to, because that was the first thing I thought. I was like, fuck, I don't have enough room to play VR right here.
And if it's room scale, then that puts a natural cap on how long people are going to be willing to play. And I don't know, sometimes there's that DDR effect where you get, sometimes when you get a game that's fun enough and you get nerds on their feet, they accidentally get in shape. So that might happen. But I really hope that we have people
But then they go outside and then they'll stop playing video games and then you lost a customer. Damn it.
That's not true.
All those trading cards. Oh yeah, what rank badge are we gonna get for Half-Life Alyx, guys?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What rank?
You're the only one that understands the rules of
badge?
Steam trading
Oh,
cards.
yeah, no, dude.
Lawrence understands them, and I haven't even bothered to try to understand.
Yeah,
them.
I
I
think
think 50 cents off those trading cards. Yeah.
There was actually a long time ago you produced. So this
Oh,
was
boy,
when
yeah.
you were still in Texas, and you produced a video about Steam trading cards that was like in the style of the Inside Gaming sort of
Yeah, weird
Tim
Tim and
and
Eric stuff.
And I remember watching that, being like, I have no idea what the fuck was going on
Mm.
because I knew that there were jokes in there, but I didn't understand the
Which were
base
jokes and which
mechanic.
were real.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
were jokes and which were real.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea.
I thought that would be the joke. It's funny when you can like come at something and be like, this will be the joke. But then if somebody doesn't even have the foundation to
Yeah.
understand, it doesn't hit.
I had no idea what it was, and I remember being like, "Man, I wanted to air that, but I didn't know what it was." So I don't know. I think we did. I can't remember if we put it up or not. I don't remember.
Oh, Bosk, this is my riding jacket, which is about riding motorcycles, which is not good because it doesn't have armor or padding in it, and also it has like aerated holes, which is bad because it's really cold out right now. I have another jacket, a promotional Prototype 2 jacket, that is also leather and much warmer, except the
Prototype 2.
Yeah.
Look up that jacket, Prototype 2.
All right, we'll do.
It is as cool as that jacket. I won it at a media event I got to go to at Machinima. For some reason, I got tapped to go to Vegas.
Oh, the hood, of course. It has
Yeah, it's got a sewn.
Hell yeah.
Wait, no, none of those are the right one. Yeah, it's got a sewn-in liner and a sewn-in hood.
Well, which one is it?
I think it's that.
that one? The red one.
No, that's not it.
That is bold.
It's similar to that. The one in the middle with the red collar, except it's got a hood on it.
This guy?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's exactly it. Hell
Jeez.
yeah. Hell yeah. Yes, it's exactly that awesome.
That jacket fucks.
Yes, it does. But the
Not
zipper,
you. Not you in the
Yeah,
jacket.
no, the
Just
jacket
the jacket.
does.
But now when I like zip it up, it just goes blurp. It just opens up in the middle.
Wow.
That's not what zippers do. So I'm hoping I left it alone for a year because it is my winter jacket. I'm hoping when I come back, it'll be fixed for no reason. Maybe I can take it to a tailor and they can replace the zipper. But yeah, I remember it was one of the only times I won a raffle. They handed out tickets and they called out the number and I was like, oh shit. The guy was like, what size are you? And I was like, large? And he's like, I'm going to give you extra large. I was like, okay.
Oh, man.
I was a bit heavier back then, but it was probably a good call. It's a big jacket.
I don't think I ever got a raffle. Never lucky, dude.
I want to.
Except this Pokemon's going to be shiny. What if it is?
How do I tell?
It's not.
Oh, okay. I want
You
to.
breeding over there?
I
Yeah.
won a baseball card
Or so.
raffle once, where it was like me and I want to say like 50 other people, and they called the ticket number over and over and over because they couldn't find a winner. And every time they wouldn't get a winner, they would stack another box of cards onto it because they, inevitably they'd find a winner. They did it 10 times, and I was the one that won. And I believe I blew all of my winning karma on that one raffle when I won all those baseball cards.
Baseball cards, though?
Baseball, because I collected
Cool.
them when I was a kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right. As long as it was valuable to you.
And I remember so distinctly the guy saying, because he was losing money every time he didn't get a winner, saying to me, "Oh, we finally got a winner." It's like he said, "You're a prince of a man." I remember him saying that to me because I was like 9.
Yeah.
And
You
it
were
was-
so jazzed.
I was so excited, and he was so happy because he didn't lose any more money. So that was.
You're a prince of a man.
Yeah, I remember him saying that. I was like, "Wow."
That's super sweet.
You know where those cards went?
Yeah, I do. They're in a box down below, underneath.
Oh,
underneath
Let's
my-
bust him out, dude.
Yeah.
I've gone back and looked. I've looked like every other year to see kind of what they're worth. Turns out they're not worth very much.
Oh.
That's bad news, guys.
Wow.
Don't collect baseball cards when you're a kid.
Yeah, if now go back in time, make sure you guys did not collect baseball cards when you were a kid.
Do you think cryptocurrency now is
be the baseball cards.
That's what I think.
So I got a bit of a collection going. So for a minute, Nintendo Power, yes, that Nintendo Power had an insert of like perforated video game trading cards in their
I
magazines.
have those.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Well, shit. Okay.
I
well,
saved them.
Well, I do too. Well, damn, they're not as
They're not
valuable.
worth anything, though.
Now, what do you mean?
Sorry, man.
Probably to the right person, I bet. Probably.
They're not worth
Probably.
it.
Hey,
Yeah.
out there on Twitch, if you, I'm entertaining offers here.
I'm entertaining.
I've got a sandwich bag filled with cardboard cards
No, they're-
about the adventures of Lolo and Contra and what have you.
They're not worth
So
anything.
you just send me that DM and
Well, it's like I saved a bunch of those Nintendo Powers. I saved all of the. So remember when Superman dies?
Yeah.
And then he comes back in
Yeah.
6 different comics?
yep.
Remember that? The Death of Superman?
Yeah, Death and Return of Superman.
I saved all his comics, and apparently they are some of the most oversold comics of all time.
I remember
Everybody's got one. I was like, fuck.
My uncle like strutted in with his Death of Superman comic, and he's like, "I'm gonna be rich."
Yep.
And I remember like staring at the cover, being like, "Wow, this is important." And yeah, no,
It wasn't.
that was kind of a lot of comic book historians phrase have marked that as like the moment that comic book culture really took a turn for the worst.
Yep, you're right. Venom #1, I have that too, Austin, because everybody's got it, and I have it.
And that was that was after McFarlane was already a big deal, right? So there was just a whole manufactured thing.
Yeah, well, that Venom #1 was a huge deal because it had like this foil cover, and it was like, again, when somebody says that something is going to be a collector's item, that's immediately a red flag because that means everybody else is buying it, and they all think it's going to be a collector's item, and it's not.
It's like those infomercials on it, like 3M with those coins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those beautiful coins.
Exactly.
One for each state. In a decade from now, people are going to be begging for your Illinois
You're going to be
coin.
giving them to your grandchildren.
Yeah, they're going to be like, "Grandpa, did you really go to Illinois?" "No, but I bought the coin."
Never been there.
I got the corner from it.
My favorite is
all 50 states.
My favorite is the motorized Twin Towers coin, where you like hit a button and then the towers pop up out of it and a little light shines on them. Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
No.
That sounds awesome.
That's real. Look it up on YouTube.
That's probably worth
What's
something.
it called?
Just like, I don't know, like Twin Towers commemorative coin.
2 towers.
No, not 2 towers. That's
Two-
Yeah. So I'm typing from over here, guys. Come on.
I mean, yeah.
I'm afraid of what I'm...
Yeah.
Commemorative coin.
Look,
Okay.
see if you can find it on YouTube.
On YouTube?
I think it is that one that's like gold and silver because the silver part pops up.
I feel like a part of a coin's
Yeah,
identity is
World
that
Trade
it
Center.
doesn't involve
Try that one?
an extra dimension.
Yeah,
Look
that's
closely
it.
as this World Trade
Oh, I do remember this ad.
moves into a
Oh, it's
breathtaking
horrific.
standing
Holy
sculpture of the
shit.
Look at this
Twin
animation.
Towers. It is entirely clad in 24
That
karat
happens
gold
on the
and
coin?
999
24
pure
karat.
I guess
silver,
maybe it's not
actually
motorized.
recovered
Maybe you have
from
to pop it up
vaults beneath
yourself.
the ashes of Ground Zero.
Oh, yeah, they put
Covered
it-
from Ground
The
Zero?
They put in Ground Zero
actually
ashes into the
rise
coin.
up like hope.
Imagine being the guy who sold this.
Look at all the-
Yeah.
look at all the dislikes.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
such little
fifth
shame.
anniversary of September 11th.
What if we take
We're
the
gonna make
ashes
them
of all the
kill it.
Government has authorized a
Yeah.
private
We're gonna put it
non-monetary
into a
minting
coin.
that will
And
never
then we're
be
gonna sell
released
it.
for
This feels like the
circulation.
most
It is
capitalist
available now through the
icon I
special-
can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Like, let's.
That's unbelievable.
Poor
Also,
boy.
I think it's really cool that the thing pops out of the coin, but then the rest of it sucks.
Well, it's motorized?
I thought it was, but
I
no,
don't
I
think
guess,
it is.
I guess
think
there's just a little
you
flap.
just flap it, but like.
Well, it shows it like popping up on its own.
That
so I
might
assume
be the
that-
animation.
Okay, no, there's a little tab that you
All right,
stick it in there.
there's a tab you put it in, but by like definition, coins should not have an extra dimension. Then they don't fit anywhere. They get stuck in your jeans.
Well, it's
Yeah,
a
that's
commemorative coin.
Oh, I guess you're not spending it. Huh?
Yeah, no, you're putting it on
You're
your
not spending that. You're putting it in. Yeah, you're putting it in the shelf and then saving it up for 40 years and handing it down to your
You
grandchildren.
wake up every day and
This
salute it
I
for 5 minutes.
I made from the ashes of Ground Zero.
What a terrible, terrible idea.
What an
Why-
awful
why-
story.
You're gonna forget. Chinchillas are so cute. Look at them. Chinchillas are ferrets maybe the closest living thing to Pokemon on this planet.
Dogs.
Yeah,
There's
personality.
more dog Pokemon than anything else.
100% dogs, but look at him. I mean, that is
that's
a
pretty
Pikachu.
cute.
I mean, that's what it was based on, right?
A chinchilla?
Thought so.
I thought it was a rat.
Oh, they call it an electric rat, but
Wait,
no. Okay, you're right. Look at that pooch. That's a Pokemon right there. It's a water type.
Water dog.
That's a water
He's
type
splashing.
dog.
He's splashing.
What's with all these animals? Oh,
I went to
raccoon.
the subreddit because I love it. It's my favorite.
I like the raccoon fingers, you know?
Yeah, they're all grabby.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
grabby
Oh,
fingers,
yeah.
grabby hands.
My fat
Actual-
raccoon family came back. We have
Oh.
outdoor cameras and every so often there's a
That's a snoot and a half.
I know.
every so often there's a fat ass raccoon family that rolls through our yard. Love it. We were blessed by fat raccoons last night.
What do they do?
Just kind of they just fuck around. That's
Oh,
it. They're just
alright.
running around. Sometimes they'll just jump on each other. One tried to climb a tree and he fell out because he's too fat and just rolled around on the ground a little bit. Oh, good times.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Right? I like when animals have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Animals
They
play.
can have fun.
Animals
They-
can have fun too.
Yeah, they can have
Save some fun for the animals.
Well, I mean, I guess they don't, like the dogs and cats that we own, all they do is have fun. You realize that?
Yeah.
They don't do anything.
They're not going to do it if it's not fun.
Is there an animal that I could buy as a domesticated pet that would do something for me?
Hey, dogs
Well,
do
dogs do, but they
Monkeys
derive
get
pleasure
stuff
from
from
that too. You know, or they wouldn't do it. It's like
They've been bred to.
yeah, it's like if they believe you're the alpha, they get pleasure from doing a thing that.
Well, what could they do? How about this?
They fetch.
All right. How about an animal I don't have to train? I don't want to train the dog. I want the dog to know how to do it. So I want an animal that I buy to come in and do something execute chores that I don't have to train them to do. Is there any animal like that?
You can put peanut butter on yourself in places.
A chimp butler's not a... See, okay, so the problem is...
A chimp butler does not come out of the box that way, guys. Yeah, you don't get a chimp from the jungle.
You just rip your balls off right away.
Yeah, he's not going to just...
put his own tuxedo on. That's important.
Goats will mow your lawn. Valid. Goats would eat your lawn.
Yeah,
but maybe too much. Like, they might chew it all to death.
Yeah, no.
They wouldn't know to stop at exactly the right place.
Yeah, at the right height, and then move on to the next piece.
Exactly.
That's true.
I'm asking for too much? How dare you?
Elephants can move branches.
Elephants can move
Very
branches.
Specific and weird.
That is a weird
comparison,
thing.
but I appreciate it, Chad. Thank you for thinking.
Ants and bugs can help you.
Oh, spiders! Yeah, spiders clean.
Yeah, but they also bite you, and you can't train a spider.
You can't. Well, you don't need to.
No,
Bruce, this
Daddy
is your whole
Longlegs.
point.
Daddy Longlegs don't bite you.
You just put spiders around, and they're gonna eat all the other insects for you. And you don't have to do shit.
They might hurt me though.
No, they're not.
Okay,
you're too big.
Chickens lay eggs. You didn't ask it. Just did it.
Yeah, you just. I mean, they won't cook them for you.
I was gonna say they gotta cook them for me. Though.
That'd be nice.
Okay, fair enough.
That'd be nice. Yeah, what animal just produces a food product without any amount of preparation?
Milk.
Yeah, milk. Well, you have to pasteurize it.
Milk from cow.
You should pasteurize.
Oh, you should. But you don't have to.
You have to maintain the cow to a degree.
You have to maintain it. Well,
Bees make honey.
Oh, you have to milk it though.
All I
will sting you.
All I want to do is bring an animal into my house.
Bees.
Bee.
And have
Bees.
it do
Bees.
something for me.
Bees.
No, because I'm
going to bring you a mason jar full of bees.
I have to provide an area for it to make honey.
They'll find
Okay. So you're asking for an animal that will provide a service for you,
Correct.
doesn't take up any space or area or require anything.
A little bit.
You want a ghost?
This is a ghost. You want a ghost. You want a ghost that will clean your dishes.
That's right.
I would like that too.
Actually, that's pretty.
We
sick.
both agree. That's a Roomba.
I want a robot.
Okay.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah.
I want a
Roombas.
robot.
Roombas are awesome.
I want a robot that can love me though.
A Roomba that also isn't
you could
physically
probably put a nozzle
corporeal,
on it.
so you can't stub your toe on it.
I don't know. I think when you stub your toe on a Roomba, it just adds to its mischievous
character.
attitude.
It's like,
you little guy, you got me.
Well, maybe the first time, but after the 60th time, your toe's a bloody mess.
Oh, my toe's already a bloody mess. I'm not joking either. I was trying to install a mobile AC unit, and there's like a sliding panel in it that you tighten with a screw, and it helps you like bridge the gap because it's like an exhaust tube. You got to hook it up to your window. So I tightened the screw on it, like trying to space it out for the window, and then I held it up, and then the panel just slid right out, and it cracked directly onto my toe. I haven't been in that much pain in a long time. It was one of those like deep breathing kind of moments where, and then I was holding a screwdriver, and I turned to throw it, and I was like, I'm gonna throw this, but I like looked, and there was something breakable, and I was like, fuck. And I looked over there, something break. Damn it. Then I looked, and there was like a pillow, and I was like, ah!
Oh, that's good. You threw it. Yeah.
You killed the pillow.
See that's imagine if you had a ghost dog that could install the air conditioner for you, and you wouldn't have to do it.
I'm gonna have to
Without
do
training.
Without
it wants
training.
to. It naturally seeks out air conditioners and looks for a
must hook them up properly.
Economically acceptable place to install it so that you will have optimal temperature.
Thanks,
Perfect.
Ghost Dog.
Thank
I
you,
need a
Ghost Dog.
robot is what I need. I just need a robot that will fold itself into nothing.
Transdimensional
It just
robot.
like keeps folding until it just
It's gone.
vanishes.
It like basically flattens down into the floor, and then I can't see it anymore. Well, anyways, I think that'll do it. So if anybody has any suggestions for a robot that I can buy, tell me. Let me know.
Doesn't need to be charged or set up.
No.
Doesn't even be charged. So it's like a watch.
Well, a Roomba charges itself. It goes back to the station. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Oh,
I mean, it's
okay.
Success rate on that.
But
It's really bad at it.
It's getting the energy from your appliances, which guess what you're paying a bill on, pal? Let's take it from you.
I don't mind. I don't mind paying money for something like this.
Okay.
So I'll throw money at the problem.
Okay.
You understand?
Now we're getting somewhere.
You understand? So I'll give it money,
So
but it has to do things.
Dr. Innuendo has a good point, Bruce. What if? So let's say that you have a critical shortage of patriotism, right?
so you want a maid.
If you could wake up every
A
day,
human is what you're looking for. That will leave at the end of the day after they've cleaned it.
Go ahead, Lawrence. What are you saying?
JapanRobotWaifus.com? Oh, .com. That's different.
I don't want to hear that.
Let's say you woke up every day and you saw something that inspired you to work hard. Mm-hmm. And let's say that thing was a round disc out of which protruded two special towers.
Oh.
and let's say that you could get this disc for $49.99.
For 3 easy payments of $49.99.
And it would just sit on your desk and remind you to be the best person you could be. Therefore, you would be inspired to go clean the kitchen.
And if you don't buy it, then technically you're not remembering this tragedy correctly, and you are doing a injustice,
a disservice
to
your country.
to the victims in the country.
Unfortunately, we have to stop there because I think YouTube's going to demonetize.
Yeah,
this.
we can't.
Because
Victims
we're
was not a good word to
talk
drop.
It's all the
about
way
that.
at the end. The robot's not going to get this far.
They
No way.
they demonetize this podcast on my channel every single time. And
Me too.
I have to request an appeal.
I thought it was because of my titles, because they keep putting Hyman in there.
Nope, I don't put titles in it at all.
Huh.
It's just.
Why do you keep putting him in your title?
Well, how else are people going to click on it?
That's true.
That's true. All right.
That's weird. Why do they demonetize?
Bye, YouTube. See you later.